Hi everyone, this is Garden Gabber, and today I am going to start my seeds in the seed starting system that came with my Aerogarden Indoor Garden. So this is where I'm going to keep it, I think, for the season, and I just need to remove the bowl here and get the seed starter system in there. So I'm going to do that and bring it over to the table. Okay, so now I've got it over to the table. The bowl just lifts right out of there, and here is the seed starting system that I'm going to be using. And I showed you this in a previous video, but it's just these styrofoam little tray here with a bunch of the grow sponges in it. So I'm going to get that put into here and get that ready, and I will show you all the seeds that I have. So I've removed the top of the Aerogarden, they call that the grow deck, and you need to just fill the bowl here with water. This is the first time I've ever used this, so hopefully I'm doing it right. There's a little button here that says fill to here. So I'm just going to pour this water in there until it's all the way to that line. Just quite a bit of water here. Okay, I think I'm going to need a little tiny bit more. Okay, I got a little bit more water. I'm just going to fill that up to that line that says fill to here. Alright. And then I need to just place the seed starter tray. I don't know if you can see the button in there, but it was just like right here. It's pretty full. Then I have the seed starter tray, which when I was messing around with it before, just seemed kind of like it didn't really fit in there right, but I don't really know how to do it. So the thing that I had worried about before was that I think I'm losing some sponges here. Let me grab that. Was that it seemed like these grow sponges all sunk, but now that there's water in here, it seems to work a lot better. But I don't know how that really stays in there. It just kind of floats. So I don't know. We'll get those in there. Now you have to just let them get moist before you plant it. So this just is like this, but I don't know how you're supposed to get it to stick down. Mine doesn't really stay. It just kind of floats on top of the water. So I wonder if maybe once these are wet, if it kind of sinks more. I don't know. It just doesn't seem very sturdy there. So I'm going to give it a few minutes to get these all wet and moist. And I have these ones that came out. And then there's actually inside the bowl there was a hole, or there's a little stand here that had the fill to here line. And so this one doesn't fit in there. So I'm just going to leave that one out and see what happens. Okay, so this has been sitting for quite some time, probably a half hour or so, and the pods have kind of expanded a little bit, but there were still certain ones that just seemed like they didn't get really wet. I think that could have benefited a lot from soaking all of the grow sponges before I stuck them in the tray, just because then they'd be a little bit bigger, they wouldn't fall through. For some reason this one right here just, I don't know if that hole's bigger or what, but that one just doesn't want to stay in there. And so they're all about even with the tray here. And the thing that I hope I'm doing this right, but this tray just seems to kind of float on top of the water. I thought it would kind of snap in or something a little bit, but I guess that's how it's supposed to go. So there's that. I hope I don't spill it bringing it over to the actual unit now. I didn't think about that, but there's that. Then I will show you all these seeds. When I garden, I like to have a lot of variety. I don't necessarily like to have a lot of one certain thing, but this is actually a lot more than I usually plant every year, but I'm actually really excited to do it. So I have some tomatoes and peppers. I'm not going to start those yet. I'm probably going to do 2 rounds of the seed starting because the lettuce and things can go out right now, but I just needed to get those started before I got it into my garden. And then I will do the ones that have to wait until after the frosts, which here is usually mid-May is when they say is a good time to make sure that your plants are going to be okay out there. So I'm going to get these seeds into these little grow sponges here, and I will show you what that looks like when I am all done. Oh, I wanted to show you one other thing. It also came with this nice chart, so I can label everything. I'll show you, it just looks just like that. So I can label everything and know what kind of plants I have. So I just photocopied that so that if I make more than one tray, I will have another little guide there for that. Okay, so I'm going to just show you how I'm doing this. I did broccoli in this first row right here, and I put just 2 to 3 seeds. So I have a handful here. These are spinach seeds, and I'm just taking the tweezers just because it makes it easier to stick it in there, and trying to just put it right inside the hole that's already in there. And I'm putting 2 in each one just to make sure that something is going to grow, because if I was doing these outside, that's what I would do. So you can always thin them as soon as they grow out, then you can thin the ones that look the healthiest. So that's how I'm doing it. I'm just going to continue doing all these seeds I have and until they're all full. Okay, now that I have all the seeds in there, I tried to make them as level as possible on to the styrofoam tray, because that's what it said to do. So they're about as even as possible. Some of them just wouldn't do it though, so I think that's okay. I got my log here that tells me everything that I planted. And the last step here is to add the nutrients. So I'm just going to shake that up. You're supposed to do 8 milliliters, which is not too much of that. So it comes with this nice cup here, and I'm just going to pour it into the 8 milliliter mark. Oh, gotta open up the top first. This is the first time I've used any of this stuff actually, so I'm really hopeful for this, that it's going to work out really well. I usually don't have very much luck starting my seeds because I don't have the right light system to do it, so I'm hoping that this is going to really make a big difference in my garden this year. Okay, so I'm up to the 8 milliliter line, and I'm just going to pour that right in there. And now I'm going to move the bowl over to the light station, or to the actual base. Alright, I got the bowl over to the stand without spilling anything, which was good. Here it is. There's the grow light, and there's that. And then the last thing it said to do was to push the herb button, but it actually just kind of started on that when I plugged it in. And then to push the reset button, just to reset that I had just added the nutrients. So that's it. I'm going to check on this every day and see how long it takes to germinate these seeds. I'm really excited to do this. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope to see you next time. If you'd like to see how the garden goes this year, please subscribe and I will keep you updated. See you later.